Like all of the people that Katt Williams spoke against on Shay Shay have actually done those things. They've actually paid authorities to get rid of evidence, to corrupt evidence, to hold evidence until things made it past the statute of limitation. Like, these people actually have done all these things.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
But to be able to have Katt Williams' name out there and attached to somebody being unalived and a property that's associated with him, whether closely or loosely in any way, it's now the story is he paid off all the officials and he paid everybody.
The story of Katt Williams has always been about more than just comedy. It's about truth rebellion and the price of saying too much in an industry built on silence. From a very start, Katt carved his name by mixing laughter with reality, calling out the dark corners of Hollywood and the music industry that most people are too afraid to touch. For years, he was branded unstable, wild, or even crazy, a man too unpredictable to take seriously. But now, the tables are turning. People are finally starting to wonder if Katt wasn't losing his mind, but losing his patience with a system built on lies. And now, Jaguar Wright, another voice known for pulling back the curtain, has stepped forward to back him up. She's claiming that Katt wasn't just controversial, he was targeted. According to her, powerful figures like Diddy didn't just dislike him.
Club Shay Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was...
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
Well, I'm saying...
They wanted him silenced. And here's where it gets even deeper. These claims are surfacing right as lawsuits and federal investigations start shaking the very foundations of Hollywood's elite. That once bulletproof wall protecting the powerful, it's cracking. And names that once seemed untouchable are being dragged into the light. So the question becomes dangerous. Has Katt Williams been pushed out of the spotlight because he spoke too much truth? Because he refused to play the game? This isn't the first time Hollywood's been accused of burying voices that challenge the narrative. But this time, it feels different. It feels heavier. With Diddy's scandal growing and lawsuits against other major names piling up, the world is
auspicious timing. And I'm not sitting here saying that, the passing of Reggie Carroll was some kind of great conspiracy plot to set up Katt Williams so that they could, devalue him as a whistleblower or whatever the case may be. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I'm not saying that at all. And I don't want to hear anybody even trying to remotely put those words in my mouth. What I'm saying is the one thing that I know for sure is that they will take any opportunity that they have to trash and disgrace and destroy anyone who's brave enough to tell the truth, even this man's passing. Because the truth is, they should just be talking about him. They should be, what's his best joke? Why ain't y'all telling those stories? I just want to talk about what a pit bull and what a dog he was, what an animal he was, and how, he had to be pulled in line because he would just, go crazy on people. Like stop. Y'all ain't doing that man no justice, telling that story. Why are y'all telling that story? Like, I never understood that. I never understood people who are the victims of heinous crimes or terrible ordeals, and people want to go and find a way to dirty them up after they passed away on the low, do it low key on the light. Like, okay, he was a security guard and he knew how to protect people. That's fine. But for those of us who really didn't know him all like that, and there's a lot of people in America who never heard his name before and did not know who he was. Guess the one thing that they do know now, that he didn't know what to do with himself or his hands from time to time, and people had to help him get himself together, because he would just go crazy and you know, he was the kind of guy that if he loved and cared about you, he would just go run up on somebody even if you weren't there, and get you on the phone and let you know that he's got this person cornered and that he's willing to knock their teeth out, and he's willing to do this and he's willing to do that, and you had to tell him, no, it's cool. Like, what a story to tell about somebody you called a friend, who died in this mysterious way, and we still don't know the evidence of it.
Finally listening. What once sounded like paranoia now sounds like prophecy. Jaguar Wright raised a point that no one could ignore. She noticed that during the chaos of Diddy's trial, when every whistleblower was under fire, Katt Williams was strangely untouched. Nobody was saying much about him. Yet everyone seemed desperate to see his name tied to something tragic. It was as if the world wanted him dragged into a downfall that wasn't his. Wright said she had never seen people so eager to connect someone to a tragedy. Katt stood apart from the storm, but that only made the silence around him louder and more suspicious. Meanwhile, names like Reggie Carroll began surfacing. Though Carroll had a respectable career, he didn't have the national reach that Katt Williams did. Not until now. Suddenly, everyone knew his name. Figures like Billy Soros started circling the narrative, predicting doom as if they were prophets of bad news. He spoke with certainty, claiming he knew what was coming for Katt, while the public waited for proof. Then the authorities cleared Katt Williams, officially confirming his innocence after an investigation. Yet instead of moving on, people twisted the silence that followed into guilt, whispering that the family had been paid off, or that something darker was being hidden. Wright said this was no coincidence, that it's the same playbook used against every fearless whistleblower. If you can't silence them, you destroy their credibility. You make the world doubt them until their truth loses power. For years, the media has painted Katt as erratic and unpredictable, not by chance, but by design. It's the oldest trick in the book. Label someone crazy, so you never have to answer their accusations. History proves that truth tellers are mocked first, only to be vindicated later. Wright warned that what's happening to Katt fits that pattern perfectly. Still, she made it clear not every tragedy is conspiracy, but the system will always use tragedy as a weapon when it benefits them. As Wright said, they'll take any opportunity to trash and destroy anyone brave enough to tell the truth. Even in the passing of Reggie Carroll, instead of honoring his life and legacy, people rushed to twist his story into something dark. They weren't celebrating his work or remembering his jokes. They were painting him as violent, unstable, or dangerous, erasing the humanity behind the headlines. Wright questioned why society feels the need to dirty up the image of the victim after they're gone. Reggie Carroll, who had spent decades making people laugh, from Comic View to the Parkers, was being reduced to gossip and speculation. His longtime friend, Monique, shared a heartfelt post reminding everyone to treat people with kindness while they're here. Yet online, people mocked his name, asking, who even is Reggie Carroll? Wright fired back, reminding everyone that fame doesn't determine value. Carroll may not have been a global superstar, but he mattered to his community, to comedy, and to those who loved him. And now, instead of focusing on his legacy, people were using his death to attack Katt Williams. Wright compared this to Tory Lanez's case, pointing out the same manipulation at play. She said no one was really asking where Katt Williams was or what the facts were. They were only looking for ways to make him responsible. With Tory, at least there was evidence he was at the scene, even if his DNA wasn't on the weapon. But in Katt's case, there was nothing, just silence, and the assumption that silence equals guilt. Wright exposed how fame twists reality. If you speak, your words are used against you. If you stay quiet, your silence is weaponized. She explained that Katt's silence might simply be smart legal advice or self-protection. But the public has been conditioned to see silence as confession. It's the irony of celebrity life. The more famous you are, the less freedom you have to stay quiet. In this age, the absence of statement is treated like an admission of guilt. And that's exactly how narratives are controlled. The truth isn't found in evidence anymore. It's found in how loud the story is told. Then came the most explosive claim, the one linking everything back to Diddy. Jaguar Wright said it's on record that evidence tied to potential RICO charges was made to disappear because Diddy paid to have it erased. The very people Katt Williams called out are the same ones being protected by silence and power. The people he warned us about really did those things. And now, the walls are closing in. They paid off authorities to erase evidence, to twist it, to lock it away until it expired under the statute of limitations. But if the notes from that mysterious book truly came from Kim Porter, and by all accounts they did, then the truth runs deeper than anyone imagined. Yes, one voice said, because I spoke to her maybe 6 hours before I received it. The revelation hit hard. A quiet, "You spoke to Kim Porter?" was met with a simple yes. What began as a casual hello turned into something much heavier, a final echo from a woman who may have been trying to speak from beyond silence. The conversation's timeline unfolds in fragments, voices overlapping, memories tangled. One moment, a phone call. The next, a manuscript delivered before a sudden departure from Atlanta. When asked if the document truly came from Kim's diaries, Courtney Burgess didn't hesitate. He said the pages carried too much emotion, too much real dialogue to be fiction. Maybe it's a woman scorned, he said, because when you're hurt like that, you can't forget. His words painted a picture of heartbreak turned into testimony, a truth written in pain that refused to fade. It's important to pause here and remember that Sean Diddy Combs stands accused, not convicted. Every claim remains an allegation until proven in court or settled through a plea. Still, the accusations themselves have already shaken the foundation of fame. When I asked Courtney how he feels about Diddy today, his voice hardened. "I've known him 35 years, he said. He started ambitious. Then he'd do anything. Then he stopped caring about anyone. Now, he's Lucifer. It wasn't just anger. It was disappointment twisted into disbelief. That statement pierces the core of this entire controversy. This isn't only about Diddy's guilt or innocence. It's about whether someone in his position could erase evidence altogether. If money can buy silence and bury truth, then justice itself is compromised. And that's exactly why voices like Katt Williams matter, because they refuse to let that silence settle. Jaguar Wright echoed this, saying powerful people have been feeding negative stories about Katt for years. Figures like Billy Soros spread dark predictions, shaping public opinion before the truth could even surface. Katt himself once said, "The biggest job someone has in the slum not is pretending there is no slum knot." He was talking about the lies we all agree to ignore. While authorities chase conspiracy theories, the real corruption stands in plain sight. Yet people still twist stories to protect their idols, pushing blame toward whistleblowers instead of confronting the system. Jaguar Wright described how these false narratives get planted early, framing Katt as unstable long before any evidence comes out. Once the public has been primed, facts no longer matter. Perception becomes the weapon. Both Katt Williams and Jaguar Wright have been branded crazy, but over time, their words keep aligning with reality. Even industry veterans like Dame Dash admit they're starting to sound like prophets. The real question isn't whether every word they say is true. It's why so many forces are desperate to destroy their credibility. Those in power, Jaguar said, will do anything to silence truth-tellers. Katt hasn't vanished, but his voice is being buried under noise, rumor, and spin. Whether you believe him or not, one truth stands clear. The louder he speaks, the harder the system works to shut him down. So we'll leave you with this. Has Katt Williams been targeted because of what he says, or because of who he threatens to expose? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe in real stories that challenge the system, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, stay aware and stay real.